I'm the Hoppy Ferret, and I'm here to review a beer I bought in a glass that I definitely didn't. And today, I'm excited for this review. Today we've got Dead Pony Club by Brewdog. It's a 3.8%. It's a 3.8% ABV session IPA, and this is the beer that got me into craft beer. Brewdog say that Punk IPA is the beer that started it all, and it very much did for them, but for me it was Dead Pony Club. I used to work at this burger joint when I was just turned 18 when I was doing my A-levels. And we got this beer in, I think it was by accident, serendipity I think they call it. Got this beer in by accident, and yeah, the manager was like, do you want some of these beers to take back? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say no to free beer. I was 18, I was very willing to sample. And at this point I was drinking Stella, and I thought that, that was alright. Haven't had that in ages, and Dead Pony Club is the reason for that. I sat down, cracked it open, had it, and I still remember it. It was such an experience, and I was drinking it, and to begin with I was like, whoa, what's this? It was bitter, it was floral, it was, for 3.8%, it was kind of strong, it was very malty, it had flavour, which of course, from memory, Stella doesn't. But I don't only have Dead Pony Club, I also have Wingman, which is also by Brewdog, and it's also a session IPA, but it comes in at 4.3% ABV. I picked up Dead Pony Club when I went to France a few months back, and I saw it in the shop, and I haven't seen Dead Pony Club for ages in the UK shelves. It used to be one of Brewdog's core range, used to form part of Brewdog's core range, and I think I've had it a few times in their bars, but I haven't seen the cans anywhere. And I saw this bottle, which, they moved from bottle to cans and then to off the shelf. I saw this beer in a supermarket in France, and it's actually brewed by, or in, Brewdog's German brewery. So technically this is a Scottish beer brewed in Germany, bought in France, reviewed in England. So this is very much beer through the back door, if you will. And I've been really excited to try these beers, because Wingman is Brewdog's new session IPA that they've really been pushing, and it's been doing incredibly well. Although, having a look on Untapped, I do notice that, and you will as well if you look, Dead Pony Club, it's got around 200,000, or just over 200,000 check-ins. It actually ranks a little bit higher than Wingman. I think it's 3.5, around that mark, whereas Wingman is closer to 3.4. So there's not much difference, and there's about, I think Wingman has 50,000 check-ins, so a quarter of Dead Pony Club, but of course it's a much newer beer. And I mentioned when, what, hold that thought. Let's, oh boy, I haven't had this for a while. Let's crack it open. See what we get. So, I remember, as I said, I remember sitting down, having this beer, and it was so floral. It was punchy. It had, is there any sediment? No. There's no sediment. Oh, there is a little bit. Like a pirate, and by God, I found some treasure. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think there is a little bit of sediment in there. But anyway. Fuck yeah. It was so floral and so punchy, as I keep saying. And I've had Wingman, once or twice, or maybe 3 times. And I'm just interested to see what the difference is between these 2 beers. Because for me, Dead Pony Club was such a tremendous standout that I'm kind of a little bit surprised that they're not still trying to push it. Especially as it's lower ABV, and Wingman, I love the name of Wingman, I love the branding, I think, it's done incredibly well for Brewdog. And I think, Wingman is such a great name for a session IPA. We won't touch on what Dead Pony Club means. And, it's it's your wingman for the night, right? It's, you can sink loads of these beers and not get too trolleyed. This is a dark beer. Well, it's not a dark beer, it's darker than what Wingman is. It's got a nice orange colour to it. And yeah, I remember Wingman being a little bit more citrusy, a bit sweeter. So we'll start with Dead Pony Club. And on the aroma, it's so nice. You get a lot of the malt come through. And it is sweet. You do smell some sweetness, but it's the floral that sticks out to me, and I wouldn't go so far as to say dank. This beer, Dead Pony Club, it does use Simcoe, Mosaic and Citra. And saying that, some of the orange does pull through as well. And a little bit of rhubarb too. But as you can see, it's kind of a muddy orange colour, and I think that it definitely comes from the malt. Before I dive in and drink this, double parked, I'm going to open another beer I bought in a glass. Actually, I did buy this glass, but it doesn't really work. If I can get the thing open. Nice smoke there. As I said, this is a 4.3% session IPA. You can already see it's much lighter. It's a lot more carbonated as well. In Dead Pony Clubs, let's get these up here. Little bit of bottle geography. Proxemics, as my Year 7 drama teacher would have said. This is already a lot lighter, like straw coloured. Straw coloured yellow beer. It's got two finger white head. Yeah, and lemony, peachy, tropical. As I was saying, in Dead Pony Club's defence, it is nearing there. It is nearing expiry. In fact, today is the 25th, and its best before is the 30th of August 2024. So Unfortunately, a beer that is probably not as close to its prime as I would wish it was, especially for it being an IPA. You do want to drink these beers fresher. You don't want to age them. And that does explain the relative lack of head. But you saw when I opened the bottle, there was, well, I don't know, I saw some smoke on the opening. And it smells just as I remember. It's got the, yeah, I think it's this the rhubarb that kind of sticks out to me. And I don't really know where I'm picking that up from, because I was mentioning the hops earlier. Wingman uses a tannum, I think I'm saying that hop right, which was originally used in the original Punk IPA recipe. I don't know if it still is, but it definitely was, and it definitely gives off some of this rhubarb aroma. But yeah, one final sniff of both. As you can see, the head's gone down a bit now. I'm getting so much lemon from this when going from the Dead Pony Club to the Wingman. And peach, yeah, and you know, I think, you know, I'm gonna be a little bit biased in this one, because I do have such a love for Dead Pony Club. Without further ado, I really hope this isn't the last time that I drink Dead Pony Club. If it is, I'm glad to be sharing it with you all. Cheers. Yeah, more of that rhubarb does come. The maltiness. It's a little bit thin. It's a little bit. Again though, I do wonder if that's because this beer has been sat in the bottle for quite some time. Wingman, still a little bit in the bottle, in the can. 12/07/25, so what's that, 12th of June? 12th of July, 2025. So this is a lot fresher. This is almost a year younger. There's something else I'm picking up from this. I think it's the peach. Also has Mosaic and Simcoe, but as I said, it has a tannum and HBC 692, I think. And you know, it tastes lighter. And by that I mean not lighter in sort of alcohol or texture or thinness, but lighter in the colour. Like Dead Pony Club, it's got a bit more sort of, I would assume, crystal malt, maybe a touch of Munich, and it gives it a little bit more of a rounded flavour. This beer, in comparison, tastes more like the lighter lagers. Not that this tastes like a light lager, like Stella, but if you're to drink this and then go to, carbonated. If you're to drink that and then go to this, you would definitely be able to tell the difference. And I'm kind of interested now to go back to Dead Pony Club, because I did say that it was a little bit thinner. But Wingman, yeah, it's Brewdog have been coming out with some great beers lately. I absolutely adored cold beer. Shore Leave is another great one, not one that I've seen. I haven't seen them. I'm just trying to think if I've seen it in supermarkets now, but I probably wouldn't really notice if it was or wasn't there. It's not one that I pick up too often, but this isn't about Shore Leave. This is about Dead Pony Club and Wingman. And if I go back, yeah, you can really tell. You can really tell the addition of some of these darker malts. I don't normally swirl with my right hand. This is some masterclass you're seeing right here. But if I show you the beer a bit more, and then compared to it's a gorgeous orange colour, and this is by no means not a nice looking beer. Like, it's not super clear. Like, you can definitely see a little bit of haze from it. It's not rich orange, but it's a very attractive yellow. And very well carbonated. Can't say the same about Dead Pony Club, but again, I think it's a little bit unfair to compare those two in that way. But yeah, very carbonated, this one. The eagle has landed, is what Wingman says, and saddle up for session. That's what Dead Pony Club says. I've got to say, I think I prefer the name of Wingman. I really like the witty name. I think, as I mentioned earlier in the review, I think it's such a great name for a session IPA. Yeah, I don't know what more to say, he says, with more to say. I wish I could find Dead Pony Club a lot easier in the UK. They might sell them in the Brewdog bars, in the fridges, but there is absolutely no way that I'm paying those prices. They're ludicrous. Absolutely ridiculous, honestly. It winds me up a little bit seeing the beers in Brewdog fridges, because sometimes you do find a good little gem. But they're like... I'm making up numbers now, but it's something similar to... You could pick up a 4-pack of Brewdog beer for £6 in the supermarkets, and they're charging £8, £9, £10 for the same 4-pack that you could pick up in a Sainsbury's just around the corner. Anyone who buys beers in those fridges, I don't get it. More money than sense. Yeah, as I said, Brewdog, they have been coming out with some great beers lately. This is one of them. It's super sinkable. It's sessionable. Although that being said, 4.3%. I don't know. I just feel like the 3%, the 3.5 to 3.9% session IPAs occupy such a nice little niche. And you see a lot of this with the alcohol tax in the UK at the moment. Breweries creating beers at 3.7% or less to not be hit with so much alcohol tax makes it cheaper for the consumers as well, which is always welcome in these times. But when is it not bad times? Except for the camera era. Yeah, they occupy such a nice niche that I just feel like the psychology of going in and drinking for 3.8% beers. You're just I don't know, you're just going to approach it with a different mindset to 4.3%. And maybe I'm splitting hairs here, but you know, this does seem more full fat. Whereas this is, you know, sort of the you know, diet version, if to put it that way. So maybe they're not, you know, apples and oranges. Or, sorry, maybe it is apples and oranges. It's not apples and apples. But the Wingman does definitely seem to be a beer that has replaced Dead Pony Club. Is it better? No. Well, I mean, as I said, as I keep saying, I have such a love for Dead Pony Club. And the darker malt is definitely something that attracts me to that. Like, I mean, look at that head. It is ever, I don't know if it comes up in the camera, but it is ever so slightly off-white. I think this is the more exciting beer, even a year older. But I still think Wingman is a pretty damn good beer. If I was to rate these, which I'm gonna, Dead Pony Club, I've checked it in 4 times on Untapped. Each time I've given it 5 out of 5, so I can only give this a 10 out of 10. Wingman, not comparing it to any other session IPA that you may be able to find. The smells there, is that banana? It's banana. I like bananas. So Wingman gets 1 extra point for that, for what, I don't know what I was originally going to rate it, but I'm going to bump it up by another point. There's one other thing. Lemon, peach, banana, things. It's the malt. It's kind of, yeah, it's bready, biscuity, digestive. It's a good bit. It's a great bit. I'm gonna stop around. Oh, I'm gonna give it a rating. We'll go at 8 out of 10. I give it a 7, but with the banana, it gets an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna go enjoy these lovely beers all by myself. I'm double parked, and I'm excited for a nice little session. Cheers.